Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called, They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right, like I said, today's quick lesson is going to be called, They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. All right, and I just came across this video. All right, and this video's rapper E40, right, from the Bay, and he's got this other guy, Miles Minnick, all right, I believe is quote unquote like a Christian rapper, all right, and this video, just show our people have the zeal of the Most High, but it's not according to knowledge. Okay, so I'm gonna play this. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
I see greatness, man. I see a big future for Miles. I love the message. I'm a man of God.
Right. He said he's a man of God, right? Our people have that zeal, but it's not according to knowledge. All right.
I'm Reverend Thurman's grandson, locked in like that, and I got a big heart, and I know if none of this happened for me, my success, no nothing without the Lord. Come on.
Right, and you'd see, Jake always. Well, I know back in the day, that's not as much as it used to be. In the these industries, Jake would always, give thanks. Of course, they would say Lord and God, right? So, but they have that zeal, but it's just not according to knowledge. All right, fair use, fair use, fair use.
You know what I mean? So everybody knowing my music, you've heard me speak on it. I cry right now because they know what it is. They know I'm godly, bro, and I love to see my man's do.
Right, he said he's godly, right? Because our people have that zeal. Our people have that zeal, right? When you look at a lot of rappers, all right, another one that comes to mind was DMX. All right, he was, in his raps, he would do prayers and different things, right? Because they have that zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? And I know that DMX had came across some Hebrew Israelites, right before he passed, and what's crazy too, right? Like I said, I grew up in the Bay, so I grew up listening to E40, and he would have these certain songs, that like these spiritual type songs, I ain't gonna say, but just not according to knowledge. All right, let's keep it fair use, fair use.
On this thing, man, and bringing other people in on the game where it's not violent, it's not like he's just speaking his truth. Yeah. And the music is.
Now he said he's speaking his truth. All right, and we're gonna get a scripture on that. Okay.
Different thing. The music is turn up.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Music, and he got the performance. He got the whole woo up. He's locked in. He one of them ones. Look for him in the future. Trust me. Right now, look for him now.
Right. So, our people have that zeal, all right? Our people have that zeal, but it's not according to knowledge. All right? And let's get that. Salakia. Let's get into it. Salakia, this thing doing everything but All right. Our people, Paul talked about it, and it's true to today, you know. Our people, man, they have that attachment, all right, to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, but it's not according to knowledge. All right. Um, let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Romans, right? Romans chapter 10. And we'll start at verse 1, right? It says, Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You see, you know, um, our people, man, look, they'll pack out the churches, all right. They'll talk about God all day long, right? They have that connection, but it's just a lot of our people don't have it according to the knowledge. Okay, so it says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness." Right? He's speaking his truth. What is the truth? All right, there's only one truth. Okay, and that's through Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham or Qadash. All right, so it says, "For they, being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High." Right, and we know at this point, like the scriptures say, let's see, here we go. Verse number 16, it says, "But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith," this is Romans 10 and 16, "For Isaiah saith, Lord, who have believed our report?" It says, "So then faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High." It says, "But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world." All right. So, truly we know, especially a lot of these people in the industry, they've heard the Hebrew Israelites. They've heard, right? Our people know. All right. And our people, like I say, they have that attachment. They have that spiritual attachment to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, but it's not according to knowledge. All right. And he said, I'll go about to speak my own, he's speaking his own truth. All right. And you saw that, right? They come out to seek their own righteousness. All right. The book of Proverbs tells you, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse number 5, it says, "Trust in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." But what does Jake do? Well, I believe that my truth is no, right? There's only one truth. All right. And that's just true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's given to you from above. All right. From Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. But our people, what? They've heard, but they refuse to listen. All right. What does it say in the book of Zechariah? Zechariah chapter 7 and verse number 11. It says, "But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped up their ears that they should not hear." Okay. It says, "Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came great wrath from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts." Okay, and that's what's going on. All right, our people will stop up their ears, and they rather, have their own opinions, their own truth, instead of the true truth. All right, which is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, and I was looking at that I like I said, I came across this video, and immediately when I saw it, I was, just thinking, man, like our people have this zeal. They have this zeal, right? They have this, rah rah spirit for Yahawah Bahasham shot, but it's not according to knowledge. All right, and then they'll go around to establish their own instead of adhering, to the ways that Yahawah Bahasham Shai wants us to worship Him. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. What is that? 7 and 5. It says, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for man to hear the song of fools. Okay, and when you see a lot, this rap music, it's a lot of song of fools, man. It's a lot of song of fools. Even when they try to be soulful and heartful, a lot of it is not according to knowledge. It's not according to knowledge because they have that zeal, right? But they don't have it according to the knowledge of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay. Let's go to Jeremiah, right, 4 and verse number 22, right? It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge." Okay? They know that there's a God. They know that there's a higher power. All right? But they just can't seem to grasp it. All right? Because the Lord has, we had talked about that at camp today. That, the Lord has blinded them. All right? What is that? Isaiah? I don't even think we brought it out, but I know we mentioned it. Isaiah 6 and verse 9. It says, and he said, this is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. It says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. And see ye indeed, but perceive not. It says, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. All right? And the Lord doesn't want to do that. All right? The Lord has set it up that only His elect are going to hear His voice. Only His elect are going to follow. All right? Yahawashi said, my sheep hear my voice. All right? They follow me. Okay? They hear me and they follow me. All right? And the rest were blinded. All right? Matter of fact, let's get that. Right? But it's our people, they have that zeal, but it's not according to the knowledge of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right? It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Okay? The rest were blinded. All right? So you have a lot of people, right, who have that zeal, but they're blind to the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right? And that's what, you have Paul going into that, it says, according as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. Okay? So this is where when you go back to Romans 10 and 2, it says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. It says, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. All right? They've gone through the precepts of men. All right? And you see what he said, I'm the grandson of Reverend Thurman, or I forgot what he said, And you read the book of Jeremiah, right? It says, woe unto you pastors that scatter my sheep. All right? Because ultimately, like I say, our people have that zeal, but they don't have it according to knowledge. Okay? And Yahawashi, When we go to the book of Hosea, it talks about how our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Okay? And when you read, right? And that's how you know, because what do? They rather hear the song of fools than the rebuke of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right? They rather talk about shooting, right? Taking each other's women, right? The whole nine. All right? Shedding blood. All right? So it says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. And this is what we see. All right? It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. All right? And now you see, the songs of fools, has become the popularity. All right? The song about killing, robbing, destroying. All right? That's what, that's what the masses like. All right? And it says, Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1 and 2, it says, hear the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you children of Israel. All right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you of the diaspora. All right, it says, for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. By what? By swearing, right? What you do, and that's all they do, right? Is cuss, right? In rap music, lie about what they did, what they got, all right? When they got, all these 360 back deals where Esau is basically taking all their money, and all they doing is just, flossing on the next poor man. You know what I mean? It says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood. And that's what, these days, these rappers talk about, right? That's what they talk about, all right? That's what you hear, right? The song of fools, all right, has become the popularity, all right? Rather than hearing this true song, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay? So our people, they have the zeal, but it's just not according to the knowledge. All right, so I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying. Right, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, Almighty Shalom, to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect out there and the household of faith, man. Stay diligent, stay focused. All right, continue to hear the words of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, put this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding close unto you. Keep it close into your heart, man. All right, in your mind, meditate on these. All right, understand, the true knowledge. All right, and the true way of righteousness is through Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Qadash at the end of the day. All right, and with that, I say a ball and shalom.